It's time for New Wellness TV with Dr. Lee. Join your host, the accomplished Dr. Cherilyn Lee, as she welcomes the leading experts in health and well-being as they explore the advancements in natural health, physical fitness, nutrition, integrative medicine, and self-discovery.
Welcome, everyone, to another fabulous, fantastic show. I have here in the studio with me some fantastic, wonderful ladies. And they are definitely ladies. I'm so grateful. One I've been knowing for years. One that's my sister. I can call up on her anytime. She's always there for me. And the other young lady I just met, and she feels like a sister already as well. I am so grateful to introduce the one and only, Doris Mosley. And my second guest here, please forgive me, Tracy, is an attorney who is going to be sharing with you her book, her journey. And Attorney Tracy, I want to thank you so much for being here today. I know I didn't say your full name, but you're going to tell everybody who you are in just a few moments. You know, so many women, there isn't a day or a week that does not pass that women do not call me, including the men, but more so the women, because we know how we are when we start losing hair. Hair loss and restoration. That is the name of our show today. And we know that millions and millions of people are losing their hair. I deal with so many people who are going through chemo and radiation, who are on beta blocker blood pressure medications, who have had braids for years, and now the traction from the braids is causing hair loss. Dyes and different things they put in the hair. And now you're seeing so many young people with hair loss because of the things they're doing to their hair with all the different coloring and things. But how do we grow it back? That's what we want to know. You know, we know we're losing hair. It could be hormonal, it could be disease process, but you need to be worked up properly to know what the problem is and why you are losing hair. But most important, my dear friend Doris Mosley have a solution to your problem. And I'm so grateful that she's here, and I'm so grateful that she has something she's going to share with us. But I want to always state that we do wonderful topical things to help grow our hair, but we also have to go within and internally too, in order for hair loss. So it could be so many things. So you want to be really worked up properly. And I know at New Wellness Healthcare, this is what we do at New Wellness Healthcare, medically to kind of work you up, you know, health-wise to see what's going on. But I am so thrilled that Miss Doris Mosley have a wonderful product to use naturally and topically. But we know the research shows, too, that we really got to take care of our internal organs in order to have good, healthy hair. Not only just good, healthy hair, but your hair is a reflection of your skin. Your skin is the largest organ system on your body. So I'm going to turn this floor over to my dear friend, Miss Doris Mosley, that has a wonderful event coming up here soon as well that I'm part of. So I just want to thank you so very much for being here. So too bad, guess you guys can't see what I just did. That's why we're all laughing, but I couldn't stand my phone buzzing, so I just dropped them all on the floor. So anyway, Miss Doris Mosley, tell us about you. But most of all, tell people how we met, because it's so powerful how we met. We're on this journey together for a reason.
Yes. Dr. Lee, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing this type of forum to the world, really, because it is so important. It's nothing like good health. I met you over 11 years ago now.
11 years.
And
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I do a health and wellness class. I was doing them at that time, and I'm getting ready to start them back. Health and wellness classes once a month. And your good friend, Dr. Joyce Scott, came out from Atlanta
Yes, she did.
to be the educator that night. And you were in the audience. And she used that night with what she cooked with, made a salad with apple cider vinegar, Bragg's apple cider vinegar. And she told me that it can be purchased at your location. So I was at Trader Joe's that Wednesday, and I said, okay, this was Monday. She was there. That Wednesday I was at Trader Joe's, and they didn't have it. So I said, oh, that's right. Dr. Lee has it. I called you up and you said, "Oh yeah, I got it. Come on over." Went over at that particular day. You was doing body imaging screening, and you invited me to get one. And I was like, "No, I got to get back to the salon." You know, as a stylist, we're always rushing to get back. And in April of that same year, 11 years ago, I had a mammogram. So I knew everything was fine. And, you know, as a whole, we don't want to know if something is wrong with us, really. We should know,
Yeah.
but we don't want to know. So she said, "Well, get a screening." And I was like, "No, I'm okay." You know, you kept insisting that I get the screening. And finally, you said it's free. I was like, "Free?" That put another light on the subject. It was free.
Yes.
So
Well,
I
I'm
said,
the only one in the world that does
and
thermogramming,
yes,
thermal imaging for free.
for free. So I said, "Okay, free. I got to do this." So you asked what part of my body I want to screen, and I said, "You know, I had a mammogram in April. I know ain't nothing wrong there." So I stuck my chest out and I said, "Oh, just do my breast." And I went in there and they did my breast screening, and there it was, breast cancer. I was just
Well, we
floored.
didn't say breast cancer.
No, they
We
didn't
don't-
say it then.
It was a hot spot, and
Yes,
that's what I
yes.
see when I do the CRT
Yes.
testing. We see hot spots. Those
And
hot spots are indicative. Let me say why too, because of the fact
Yes.
that when there's a hot spot in the breast, and you do a cooling down method, abnormal cells, I like to call them instead of using the word cancer, they don't cool down, so it stays hot, and when there's inflammation, so that's what happened.
Well, from there I went to my medical doctor, and that hot spot proved to be the big C, and I was devastated. But I was also grateful to Dr. Lee that she insisted on me staying that day to take that imaging screening, and I did, and I was so grateful that it was microscopic.
Yes.
When it was detected, which was not detected in the mammogram. So I was able to get it. It wasn't in my lymph nodes. None of those was affected. I was so
Caught
blessed.
early.
Yes, it was called
Prevention.
early prevention. So if you're out there listening, get checked. Don't just put it off.
Yes.
Get checked. And
Get
I'm
checked,
grateful.
and that's why I'm there. That's why the company gave me the under my nonprofit, the machine. That's why I'm the only one, because people say, "Well, I'll get a mammogram because I don't have to pay. The mammography is free." But we're going to get past that right now because we want to get more into. If you want to hear more of the story, go to my YouTube channel where Doris Mosey tells her complete story at one of the largest events we have in the city. And I do thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, I
for-
appreciate you.
For being here today and just sharing your story. Now let's talk about
Forever
hair
grateful.
loss and hair restoration.
Yes, I have
Okay.
been in the beauty industry. I've been a cosmetologist for 44 years.
Yes.
For the last 8 years, I've been a certified trichologist, and now I'm studying at the National Trichology Institute in Atlanta to become a trichologist instructor.
With our dear
certified.
friend.
With our
I
dear
know
friend,
her.
Connie Judge. Exactly.
yes.
She has an amazing program, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. But hair losses are at an all-time epidemic.
Yes, it is.
It's over 55 reported million people who are losing their hair and wondering why. And I was just saying to a young lady the other day, she had this very long extensions. And I said to her, at what point did we fall out of love with our own hair? I said, we got to get back to loving our hair. I said, if they came into this country and took all the hair back, what would you guys do? What would you do? I said, it doesn't matter if your hair is long. It doesn't matter if it's short. It doesn't matter as long as it's healthy. And
Yes.
healthy hair begins with a healthy body.
Most definitely.
Yes, and hair loss is 6 main reasons why people are losing their hair. And stress is one of them. Not saying that's the only one, because everybody is stressing. It's just how you handle the stress.
Most definitely.
Stress is one, diet is another. What we eat, we are what we eat. We cannot be nothing else. So a lot of animal fat, we take on the hormones of the animal. So junk in, I always say junk out. Yo-yo dieting is not good. 1 week we're this much, next week we're this much.
And then you have so many people, not to cut you off,
Yes.
that jump into becoming vegan. And they're not getting enough of the right protein sometimes.
Not getting the education. You got to
You got to get the education. If you're going to go vegan, you got to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
I have an associate right now who's trying to find at least 2 generations of vegans who are healthy.
Right. Yeah,
two generations of vegans who are healthy, and we cannot find them.
Yeah, well,
So
I decided, to cut some of that animal fat out.
Well, you have to cut
in
the animal
August.
fat, and if you do happen to have some, make sure it's grass-fed, organic, but not much. And this is not something you do on a constant basis.
Yes,
But have a well-balanced diet.
exactly.
You know, and stay away from all the plastic. You know, you got to stay away from
Stay out of the aisles of the grocery store.
Yes.
And shop on the outer perimeter. That's where you get your good stuff.
your good food.
Not this processed stuff.
Exactly.
And then we have medical. Medical is a reason.
Oh yes.
We're dealing with hormones. We need to go get checked to make sure those are balanced. Then we have health. We have, as Dr. Lee said, we have chemo. We have medications. There are a lot of medicines out there.
Lots of medications
that are side effects is hair loss,
And
we
people don't
know.
see that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had this one stylist to say, I told my client, she was a diabetic, and she was experiencing hair loss. She said, I told her to stop taking the medicine. I said, you
Ooh,
cannot
no, you
do
can't
that.
do that.
I
Can't do
said
that.
she has to do what the doctors say do to come off of the medication for her hair to return. You can't just tell her to stop her medicine. Then we have environment. Where do you work? You know, outside is not good, being outside, although vitamin D is good for the hair. But right now, everybody's so covered up, they can't get vitamin D naturally. So you got to take some vitamin D. And then we have genetics. You know, it's mother and father who've lost their hair early for different reasons. We have DHT, that's the buzzword now, dihydrotestosterone.
No,
So
most
where's
definitely.
that coming from? It comes from an enzyme that attaches itself to the excessive amount of testosterone called 5A reductase or 5A alpha, and it attaches itself to the follicle, and the follicle become deminiaturized by that DHT choking it out. So those are some of the reasons why. And there, under each one of those headers, there are other reasons, like traction alopecia, and that's stress. Traction alopecia is one of the main reasons now.
You know, you find so many, not to cut you off, but you find so many people in the industry, as far as the film industry, because your daughter works with a lot of people in the movie industry. And you find so many of them not wearing a lot of hair that's not theirs. We'll just kind of put it that way because of the traction.
Yes.
And a lot
Yes.
of now have gone so thin across the top and with all the traction that, you know, they're doing so many things. And you've noticed a lot of them have cut their hair.
Yes, and then then they're wearing, you know, the lace front wigs and lace fronts. People are wearing those. Those were designed for movie and television. And now,
Not for every day.
Not for every day, because you have to adhesive. I don't want to say glue. You got to adhesive that down, and that causes traction to your own follicles because you're pulling it up, putting it down, pulling it up, and then you look around, your hairline is gone from the traction alopecia. But you know what? I am so excited about the health and wellness company that I work with called Healthy Place Botanical. And Dr. Lee, I'm sure you're familiar with that company.
Yes.
But they just blended a group of organic essential oils, and you just said about eating organic. Well, our company has a blend of essential 100% certified USDA organic essential oils, and one of the main oils in there is our hemp extract, full spectrum hemp extract, and it's 500 milligrams, and that hemp extract puts the body back into balance.
And this is something that can put the body back in balance and that's nice and healthy, and you don't have to get the PRP, which is protein-rich plasma that they do
Replacement.
injections into the
Yes.
scalp.
Yes.
Now, I've been trained to do this, but I just can't see myself injecting women's scalp. I've been trained. It's like, you know, I don't think I want to do this.
Yeah,
even
well,
though I've been trained to do it.
It's
just-
interesting. It's
no.
interesting. But see, this now, Dr. Lee, with Hemtastic Hair Product System, we have rosemary. Rosemary oil is a natural blocker for DHT.
Yes, it is.
I'm so excited about that. Also,
So am I.
pumpkin seed oil fights inflammation. Inflammation is part of the reason we're losing our hair. You have itchy scalp, you have psoriasis, we have all that. The pumpkin seed oil that's in there, oh my God, it's amazing. And
It is.
peppermint.
I have some. Thank you.
Yes, peppermint oil is responsible for good blood circulation. And when you have good blood circulation, blood nourishes all of the cells.
You have
and
to
when
have
you
good
have
blood
good,
circulation.
yes,
You have to.
you have to have good blood circulation. So I tell people, even with all this traction, all this tight, oh my goodness, it just makes me so mad to see that, because it's just really destroying the hair. And ladies, if you're tying up your hair at night, don't tie the scarf so tight. Men, if you're wearing hats, don't wear them so tight, because you're cutting off the blood circulation that comes to the scalp area. And we want to deep cleanse our pores, because Hemtastic right now is in an oil form, and we need to get clean pores. We need to get clean pores. So we want to deep cleanse those pores, and we want to go in and apply Hemtastic at least 3 times a week. You also can put it under the tongue so it becomes subliminal and gets in the body a little faster. We have moringa oil, which is good for health of the hair. We have baobab. Baobab is a super fruit from Africa, which heals from within. I mean, it has all kind of good properties.
But you know,
in here.
I want to cut you off only because we do have a second guest too.
Okay.
But I also want to say that you're going to be doing a lot of these demonstrations
At Spectrum
International
Beauty
Expo.
Expo, March 18th
No, I know it,
and 19th.
'cause
Right.
I will
you
be
will
there.
be there.
I will be there
Also,
doing some
Tracy will
screening.
be there. Our next guest will be there also. But I want you to take down this website right quick, and we're going to pass the torch, because it's nothing like being healthy. And that is www.tohealth.info. And my number, if you want any more information, is 310-920-3065. And I'm sure you can get it after we're on.
No, you can always call me
right,
and
get it from Dr. Lee.
From Dr. Lee. But I want to say too, since we're speaking of health, we're speaking of hormone, we're speaking of different things. I always say on the show that you can actually be your own advocate. You can go to Life Extension website, Life Extension. People know them for selling supplements, but go to the lab component. Test your stress levels. You can start testing it. Please test your inflammation markers. You know, you want to know your homeocysteine. You want to know your C-reactive protein. There's some other tests you want to do too. At Spectrum International, I'll be there doing testing. The C cardiovascular, to check on your circulation. The CRT allows me to find out if you're getting good blood supply to your brain and to the top part of your head. So this is why we work so closely together. So these are things, each one teach one. You know, please share this show with your friends and family. This event is going to be here in California at the Hilton.
At the Marriott, at the
Marriott.
Los Angeles, right? Don't go to the Hilton. Okay. Come to the LAX Marriott, March 18th and 19th, 2018.
And it is phenomenal. I have such a great time when
Thank you,
when
Dr.
come.
Lee. Well, you bring an awesome team, and you bring awesome work there and knowledge. And I just want to say before I leave this line that we don't claim to cure. We don't claim any of that. No miracles. We just say, get the product, use it, and see what it will do for you. It is doing great things for others.
We're going to set up a health checkoff list.
Yes.
We're going to design one to go with this, so people
Yes.
can start checking off. So if you have these problems, see your practitioner. If you're on the medications, check into it. Because sometimes your doctor can maybe rearrange something that
Exactly.
doesn't cause such hair loss. Because I have
Exactly.
2 friends right now that are completely bald.
Right.
From their beta blocker blood pressure medicines.
Alopecia totalis. It's just a full head.
It's just gone.
Yeah,
It's gone.
alopecia, you guys, is a medical term for baldness. There's 3 types.
bald.
Alopecia totalis, which is what Dr. Lee is talking about now, no hair on the head. Alopecia areata, meaning there's patches are missing. And then you have alopecia universalis, meaning there's no hair on the entire body. So that sounds like what she's experiencing.
Because she has hair on her body, and the other one does too, but
No,
the hair.
none on the
yeah.
head.
But I'm going to tell you,
Totalis.
on the emotional component,
Yes.
there's an emotional link to everything that goes on in our body. When people say, well, my hair just started just kind of falling out. I'm not on blood pressure meds. My diet is good. I'm not taking any hormones. I'm not going through a hormone situation. Also at Life Extension, you can order the Female Elite panel, which covers everything and the hormones, or you can order the Total Hormone panel. And when you get it and you don't understand, you can call us at New Wellness Healthcare and myself or my assistant can help you with that. And so do you know what you need to do? Or give it to your doctor and say, look, these are the things that are happening. What I want to say real quick, too, as we're talking about hormone and body, there's a Dr. Barnes that came out with the Barnes temperature test. And this test allows you to find out about thyroid, hyper or hypo, by just doing axillary temperature testing. You can find out what's going on a little bit faster with the thyroid before even doing blood tests, because your thyroid doesn't always show up as being abnormal based on blood tests. And keep in mind, at New Wellness, we do what is functional. We do what is called functional blood studies. It is a functional medical clinic. That's what it is. But when you are looking at blood tests and something show up abnormal, you have been sick for a long time. By the time it shows up in your blood, something that's been going on for a long time, but not when you look at it on a functional level. It's totally different. But I want to say that I am so happy to bring on Attorney Tracy Sanders.
Am I right?
Thank
You are so
You're
beautiful. We
right.
just met about a week ago, and just a delightful young lady, I want to say, and an attorney as well. You know, I never did have a chance to ask you, first of all, again, thank you for being here with us. But I never asked, what is your specialty of law?
Employment law and immigration law.
Oh, my.
Oh, I know she's busy right now.
Yes,
I
very
had a
busy.
client for you last week. Well, actually, clients. Yeah, because I have very dear friends.
But right now, I'm basically splitting my time between practice and doing a national book tour. So,
Okay.
right brain, left brain.
Okay. And that's the title
Time
of the book.
management.
Right.
Well, right brain, left brain time management, because half of my time is being spent doing artsy work, meaning the book and the book tour and media engagements. And then I'm also working as an attorney still, so I'm doing both. The name of my book is Natural Hair in the Workplace. What are your rights?
Yeah, let's talk about that, because,
Yeah, that's
a
interesting.
lot of times people, there was a lot of things that happened in the media.
Yes.
And people were fired because they changed their hair.
Yes.
Oh, they came in with braids. Or they had a natural, like your beautiful natural there. It's absolutely gorgeous. And they were told that, what were they told? I mean, how do you handle this?
So first of all, I'm smiling because as a media darling, I know the best thing to do is to be as truthful as possible. This is actually a hair piece. It's not my real hair. The reason why I wrote the book is because I'm actually recovering from traction alopecia. I've reached out to Ms. Doris Mosley, and she and I will work together to hopefully regrow my hair based on the condition of the follicles. And you and I had a conversation about internal health. So I think
Yes.
it's great that we're all on the panel.
Yes.
And I'm going to work with you in terms of recovering from alopecia.
Exactly. And go ahead.
And I was going to say the reason why I wrote the book is because I battled with hair loss in the workplace as an attorney, and it was devastating.
And how were you treated?
Well, no one treated me bad in terms of comments or saying anything directly to me. I had some stares because when I had to wear the hair wigs or hair pieces, especially if it's quote unquote big hair or hair that is considered not appropriate for a professional restrictive environment, questions may be asked, or the stares, or can I touch it? So some of that is uncomfortable. But I must admit, for the most part, it was me dealing with the insecurity of hair loss, as Ms. Mosley stated, and as you've also stated as well. There's a psychological component to hair loss. And I thought, if I'm struggling with this and I'm dealing with this, maybe this will resonate with other women.
Exactly. So handling some cases would have been, kind of give me an example of a couple of cases that you have had in the past.
Well, all of these cases are documented in my book. What I did was basically compile my personal experience growing up in the South, in Charleston, then moving to New York and dealing with different hair issues from the context of African American. But I also discussed that hair is universal. I don't like to focus on race as much as hair texture, because you can have one family with various textures. And hair means different things to different people in different cultures. So my book is a discussion of my cultural perspective, growing up in the South, moving to New York for law school, dealing with the terms that I had to overcome in the South, being, caramel brown skinned girl with kinky hair, being called kind of nappy. I've heard that word. And then moving to New York, where there was a mixture of different ethnic people. And so I really battled with my own hair issues, and then working in a restrictive work environment where, in my opinion, it is still most acceptable and preferred to have straight hair in a corporate environment.
Right.
And during that time when I had hair loss, I had to wear very tight hair weaves. And the hair weaves caused traction alopecia. And so trying to cover up what I was born with actually caused me more problems.
Yeah. I really, from the bottom of my heart, sincerely thank you for sharing, because it's not easy for people to share things about themselves. And I really thank you for stepping out and sharing your life story. It's not the end of the show yet, but I just want to thank you for sharing this, because it takes a lot for a woman to step out and say, you know what, let me just share and be an authentic woman. So I really appreciate you're doing this. I really do.
Thank you. And I shared in part after the dreadlocks case. And we all know that in certain circles, the term dreadlocks is not preferred. So I'll say locks, right? Because you have different types, sister locks and all various types of locks. But after the locks case in September of 2016, there was a media uproar that an employer can actually ban locks in the workplace or choose not to hire someone if they present themselves with locks during an interview. So that's when I really just dug in and said, hey, we need to have a book that include this particular case and different hairstyles, and what should you do if you have natural hair or if you wear natural hairstyles. Because there's a difference between natural hair and natural hairstyles.
I don't remember that case, but I want you to look at our audience, and I want you to tell them, if you're facing this right now, what would you share with them right now?
Perfect question, because actually in my book, I have 5 tips to help those who are wearing natural hair or a natural hairstyle in the workplace. So first of all, I like to distinguish natural hair is hair that is actually growing out of your scalp. So under the law, it's natural even if it's permed, so long as it's your own hair. If it's a hair piece such as what I'm wearing today or some type of extensions, that would be considered a natural hairstyle. It's artificial and not actually your hair. So if it's your own natural hair, your hair is quote unquote protected, meaning an employer should not discriminate against you. And if the employer were to discriminate against you because of your natural hair, then you might have legal rights. If you're wearing an artificial hairpiece or extensions, unfortunately, pursuant to the law, that is considered a natural hairstyle choice. It's not connected to race because it's not your biological byproduct. So an employer can technically discriminate against you. Now, we know that's not fair because most of the hairstyles that are being subject to litigation, such as locks and braids and afros, adversely affect African descent people. So we know that there is a nexus in terms of discrimination. Rather than cry about the problem, rather than riot or complain, which people have the right to do so, but let's work within the system to make it better rather than making things worse for us as a group. So with that being said, I have 5 tips to help you navigate natural hair in the workplace. The first tip is you absolutely should follow the dress and grooming code in the workplace. Now, unless you're an entrepreneur, it's not your workplace, okay? When you sign on to work for someone else, you should follow the rules. Now, if you do not feel that this is the best work environment for you in terms of being your authentic self or keeping it real, then I think you should consider consider moving on, but exit gracefully, right? But while you're there, do your best to follow the rules because you don't want to create a negative work environment or an adverse employment record.
Yes.
The second rule of thumb would be to review the workplace anti-discrimination policy. So do you all know at work, a lot of people like to go in the coffee break room and gossip and peek around the corner to see if the supervisor is coming. Well, all of that stuff is good and fun, but in the meantime, while you're there, if you look on the wall in the break room is where you would usually find the anti-discrimination policy. This is going to explain, for example, California law, as well as federal law. So the federal law is Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and it basically states an employer should not discriminate against you based on race, color, sexual orientation, etc. Now, I must say, though, Title VII doesn't state specifically sexual orientation. It states sex, but California law is very inclusive, so California state law does protect in terms of sexual orientation. The third rule to remember is that you should definitely research state and federal employment laws. Almost every state in the nation has a separate set of state law. Some states don't, unfortunately, hard to believe in 2018. But if you live in California or New York, those two states are the leaders in the nation in terms of employee rights. And then you should also research the EEOC, which is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So if you are discriminated against, you would have to, first of all, let your employer know. So how many of you know that if you feel you've been discriminated against, you should not immediately run and file a lawsuit or go to the EEOC? You know why? Because your suit will probably be denied. You have to let the employer know if you feel you're being discriminated against because
that would be step one.
Step one is you have to notify the employer. I feel I'm being discriminated against because of my hair, of race, or whatever the factors may be. But you have to notify the employer. After you notify the employer, then you may be able to start the litigation process. But on the book tour, I always educate the audience. Please be very careful about filing a lawsuit against your employer. And I would like to ask Dr. Lee, why do you think I am very, very, very vocal about warning people to be careful about filing a lawsuit against an employer? What do you think? What are some risks in terms of doing that?
Well, I'm the host. But there are many risks behind filing a lawsuit. And this is why I didn't file several lawsuits that I could have filed. Number one, I didn't want the scrutiny. And then there's also the HIPAA that we have to look at, especially in my case, being a board certified practitioner. But mainly, you could just put yourself out there and it could backfire. The boomerang effect could be even worse. So some things, I could have had many lawsuits against some governmental agencies.
Yes.
But that I left alone.
Yes.
That even to this day, I just left alone.
Yes.
It's best sometimes to leave things alone and move on. Because number one, my own health and your health, if you're dealing with a lawsuit of that nature, it's going to affect your health. So it's best to kind of move on. So it's so important that you yourself know when to stop.
Yes, and the reason why I asked Dr. Lee is that's a legal strategy. I would never want to go on air as an attorney appearing to be afraid of a lawsuit or asking people not to file a lawsuit. I don't want to talk myself out of employment.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly.
So I usually ask,
Blackball.
yes, I usually ask someone in the audience when I'm speaking, well, why do you think I'm saying be cautious? I want you to think it through. And as you said, not only health reasons, but financial reasons. And your reputation as an employee. And then finally, now there are some situations where you absolutely must take legal action. If it is blatant discrimination, if it's name calling, even if it's physical or violence, you absolutely should contact an employment law attorney, and you would contact an employment law attorney in your state to seek legal advice. And I must end with this legal disclaimer. This is not legal advice. It's friendly suggestions on the Dr.Cherilyn Lee Show.
Girl, you're good. You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just am so honored to have you here. And you kind of gave some parting words, but if one more time, just looking at the audience
Yes.
and leave them some final words, because I'm going to have my dear friend, Miss Mosley, to do the same thing as well. So what would be some parting words that you want them to remember? Number one, share this show with your friends,
Yes.
with everyone, family,
Yes.
friends. Please share the show.
So my parting words are thank you to Dr. Cherilyn Lee for having me on the show today. It is such a privilege and an honor to
Thank
know
you.
her and to call her a friend.
Thank
and
you.
also Doris Mosley. I am so excited about attending the upcoming conference in March and working with her as my own personal natural hairstylist and healer, right? How many of you know there's a difference between a hairstyler and a healer? But I believe she has healing energy, and hopefully I
She
may be
does.
able to do a reveal one day. I won't need this wig.
Yes. She's done my granddaughter's hair.
Yes.
When my granddaughter decided to shave all her hair off, she didn't even call me. She's 21 years old. She didn't even call me and say, I'm going to shave my hair. The next thing I saw her on Facebook, I'm like, and I called her. She said, well, Doris did it for me. I said, Doris didn't call me and tell me I'm going to shave your baby's hair off.
Oh, no.
But it's all grown back, and she's wearing natural hair. She loves afros. And,
Yes.
you know, hair grows back. It's
Yes.
just hair. And she's young, you know, so it's
And
grown back. But
Thank you. I'm excited about starting that hair journey since your
Yes.
granddaughter had great results. I'm
she
going
had
to-
wonderful results. And I do want to
Remain.
say that I've sent a lot of my patients who have lost their hair to Miss Doris Mosley, because, you know, they want to do something. They want to do something with their appearance. By the time you do your makeup, and they have natural makeups now too. They have natural lipsticks.
Yes.
So you don't have to use roadkill on your lips. Like I do not have any roadkill on my lips. You don't have to do this. And by the time she finishes with them, she's more than just a cosmetologist. She's more than just a hairstylist. She does have healing hands, and everybody she works with, their hair does grow. It's a big difference in just going to somebody. I've gone to people, and people, they did a number on my hair. So, and we talked about it. So she's going to get me a new look too. My daughter just set me up with this new look for the 2018. And one thing, we're not dating this show, because every year in the March and every year in March is the Spectrum International Beauty Contest. Expo.
Expo.
There is a contest there too.
Yes, there is a
There is a
contest.
contest, which is wonderful. So this is done every year. So if you watch the show after 2018, just keep in mind, Spectrum International Expo happens every year.
Yes.
But try not to miss this one.
And
Exactly.
could I say one more thing?
Yes.
Please remember that we are in February of 2018, and it's Black History Month. And remember to make our ancestors proud by making good choices and living your dream every day. I had to do that Black
Amen.
History Month pitch.
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
finally, can I do a little bit of shameless media self-promotion? Purchase my book. It's Natural Hair in the Workplace, What Are Your Rights? And you can find it at www.naturalhairinthelaw.com. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I tell everyone every day is Black History. I just do every day.
Yes.
You know, I don't do breast health awareness only on that month. I don't do
Yes.
vascular on that month, because I really don't keep up with them. It is every day. It's every day we love ourselves. It's every day we love each other. It's every day we use prevention. Prevention is priceless. This is every day. So we do have a special month, but we should make sure we do this. But we want to love and treat people right every month,
Yes.
not wait to just Black History Month. So it's every day for all of us as people in this world, in this nation together. So, Miss Mosley, what are some of your parting words that you'd like to tell our audience?
Well, you know what, Dr. Lee, first of all,
Look into their eyes. Thank you.
I don't want to miss looking into the face of millions.
Yes, because don't look at it as millions. Look as you looking into one person.
Okay.
We have to make each person feel unique. We're looking into one person.
But that's a
and
great
that's
way to look
and
at it,
that's
Dr.
what
Lee.
I feel when I look into the camera. There is somebody right now that this is for them. So you look into their eyes.
And I will. And I just
Thank
want to
you.
thank you, first of all, Dr. Lee, for giving
Thank
me this
you.
opportunity
Thank you.
to be here, to share, because that's what it's really all about. Help one, each one help one.
Yes.
And I just like to say our hair, men, women, children, no matter what nationality, is our glory. We love our hair. As the attorney Tracy was saying, it's about your hair. whether it's natural, whether you decided to put some augmented on, but you want to know how to do it safe. We have a product now, and I am so excited about Hemtastic Hair that is now getting to the root of the problem. Get into the root of the problem, because that's the only way we're going to heal and restore and bring back hair that is beautiful, shiny, with luster. And so let's get out here and make a difference. Let's stop doing this traction alopecia, which is causing so much hair loss, and eventually it will not return. It will not return.
And I just want to add, too, and I still want to give you a couple more minutes on how we sleep at night. Make sure you're sleeping on a satin or silk pillowcase. Or my kids, finally, I did a FaceTime with one of my daughters, and so I have one that fits my whole head. It's real big. And she said, Mom, what is that on your head? It's really huge. But you know what? I feel good under it.
Yes.
And it is satin. So, and then it stays in place, because sleeping and moving your head around on cloth, and we know cotton will break the hair.
Causes friction.
Yeah,
Friction causes breakage.
while you're sleeping.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you put something on your head at night, or you're sleeping on a satin pillowcase. You know, those are very, very important. So
And
keep that in mind
yes,
for
and
yourself and your children.
Exactly. It does make a difference. Also, you know, we didn't get into this, and I'm sure you're going to have a show on weight loss, in which I say getting rid of the weight, but I have been successfully.
Because I didn't find yours.
I know.
I didn't find it. You lost it, and I didn't find it. Okay.
No, you have not found it. But just to know that we got to get healthy all the way around. Mm-hmm. Our hair is our glory. We want healthy hair, no matter what length. We want healthy hair, and we want a healthy body. So over this last year, I've shedded 70 pounds. Thanks to Healthy Place Botanicals, you guys. We
Where's
have
some handshakes there,
yes,
Jarvis?
we have the
Where's
H2 pledge.
Yes.
You guys got to just go into
Yes, there we go. Listen to all the people.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Go to my website, you guys, and you can see all of that. But anyway, let's remember to love each other, help each other. That's why I'm here today, because of Dr. Lee. I've met Tracy, and we're going to go on a hair journey, and we're going to make sure. I've seen Tracy reveal. She shared with me, and I truly believe I can help her.
It just brings
I
tears to
truly
my
believe
eye
I can help her.
for you to share,
so.
Tracy, what you shared, because
Yes.
most people will not.
Yes.
And I thank you for that. I
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And I thank you, Stars Mosley, my
Thank
sister.
you, Dr. Lee.
My sister.
Because of you, I'm still here, really.
You know,
11 years ago.
And it's God.
Yes.
Because God told me to walk up to you and tell you to
Yes.
have that test.
I'm telling
When I
you.
walked up to you that day and said, come have that test, you were adamant about not coming.
Not
And
coming.
I just knew in my heart you needed to have it done. And we had just met. And the funny thing about it, we met the first time
at the show.
at the hair show.
We met
put
at
that hair shoe on?
Good Hair.
Good Hair.
The movie Good Hair.
I went to sleep.
We made
I shouldn't say that. But
we made eye contact
Yeah.
because you admired my sister's hair.
Yes.
And we recognized who she was, and she
Wow.
she told me who she was. My sister told me who she was, and so we recognized her from the trial.
Yeah.
And so that this was coming up on this next Monday. I was having my health and wellness class at my salon. Who walked through the door? Dr. Lee. My sister said, do you know who just walked through the door? And I was like, no. She said, it's Dr. Lee. I was like, oh my gosh, she's here.
But then that's when the Spirit hit
saved my
me
life.
to tell you to come have the test done, the
Yes.
thermography test.
Amazing.
And I always tell people, when you hear a voice, and I feel the voice is God, but when
That's-
you hear the voice, that inner voice,
Yes, that's
act
that
on
gut
it.
feeling.
Act on it, because it's
Yes.
for a reason. Just like I approached Tracy, Attorney Tracy, last Tuesday at an
Yes.
event where I was being honored at the Stinking Rose from David Levi Harrison. And I just want to thank him for honoring me at this event, which was really nice. So
Yes.
want to give thanks to many people. I also, before I forget, and I don't have the pictures, the Women in Red event taking place Sunday, which I will be there. I was honored by Carmenita Pittman some years ago, and my friend, I have nominated Robbie Martyr, who will be there, who I will be with her, And it's just a wonderful event honoring women who are doing positive things. So I'm going to say it on the air so you guys are hearing me now. I have 2 people sitting here that I'm honoring next year for the Women in Red Diamond Award.
Yes.
So you
Excited.
guys will be there next year as honorees that I have nominated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely. So I want to let people know tickets are available still for this Sunday night. I know you two will be out of town,
Atlanta.
but I've
Yes.
told so many other people, but please be there. This is a wonderful networking group. And tonight, the first Wednesday of the month, is our NAFI meeting, which I'm the co-director for the Marina Del Rey location. So please give me a call. Show up at this meeting at the warehouse on Admiralty Way, the first Wednesday of each month. So I'm looking forward to see some new faces there. You can show up. That's Robbie's motto. Just show up. You can show up and sign up then. And there's my dear friend on the screen. And she is the mistress of ceremony. And that's the year that I was elected for Woman of the Year. And it was just a wonderful event based on my nonprofit work. And I'm just so excited. So please give me a call or go to the website and register, or show up tonight and register at the warehouse in Marina Del Rey for NAFI, the National Association for Female Executives. I'm sort of tied into several things, and now we have the National Association for Female Entrepreneurs and Female Executives, too. I mean, it's kind of two. Robbie Martyr has set up a nonprofit, so it's the National Association for Female Executives. So, a female entrepreneur. She's going to kill me. But so many things have been changed. But all in all, it's a great family group. And there's 17 chapters, and it's growing. She doesn't know tonight. I have a surprise for her, so we can have 18 chapters. So I'm just saying that it's been really, really wonderful. And everyone, please support each other as women. And there will be some men there as well, because some are coming with their wives. And they will be wearing, maybe not a red suit, but maybe a red tie. But one year they did wear a red suit. So Jarvis, you need to travel with us. I'll find you a red suit. Sunday night. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It is my honor and my pleasure to be here weekly. It's been, January was last month, was my first year doing television. I've been radio for probably 15 years because I didn't want to be seen. I just want to be heard. So now I'm doing both. So I'm honored, and I thank God for the privilege. And I thank you, Attorney Tracy and Doris Mosley.
Much needed forum.
I thank you both. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you both.
Thank you so
You're
much for the
welcome.
opportunity.
It was a pleasure.
And thank you, Jarvis, for being a wonderful, wonderful producer over there. And I can't wait to go watch the show myself because he finds the best of pictures to put there. And Doris, just mention again very quickly the name of the product.
The name of the product is Hemptastic Hair System, and it's by Healthy Place Botanical. We're so excited that we found the
That
answer.
I'm part of.
Yes, Dr. Lee is a part of Healthy Place Botanical. You guys go to the website, make the commitment to make a better you.
Thank you. And until we meet again, or till you watch the show again, I want to say, as I always say, repeat after me and know how powerful the I am. What is the I am? How powerful that is. So when I say I am, I'm not saying me. Get it? Please believe I'm saying not just relating this to myself. So repeat after me. I am
I am
so grateful
so grateful
that I am
that
I am
a magnet
a magnet
for miracles.
for miracles.
Please take that to your heart like I do every morning and watch the miracles just transform your lives. Being grateful will transform your life. Be grateful every morning. Stop thinking and thinking about all the negative things and really harbor on the positive things and be grateful. Because gratefulness will open up doors for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day.
Yes.
Join us every Wednesday live at 11 a.m. for New Wellness TV with Dr. Lee. Remember, healthy mind, healthy body.